Good morning, and welcome to the special Saturday edition of the Weekly Trail Report, the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis's weekly show, where we talk about hiking and mountain biking events and activities on the trails in the Watershed Park region of Port Jervis. This is Tom Faggione, your host. We do this every Friday, but today it's special, very special Saturday edition, as we come to you live here at Richard's Army Surplus in Port Jervis. Our weekly trail report. Richard's Army Surplus is the official sponsor of the weekly trail report. Come down to Richard's Army Surplus for all your outdoor needs. 264 East Main Street in Port Jervis. They're open every day but Tuesday, every day 10 till 5. So come on down and get anything you need, from hiking boots to any outdoor apparel, nice woolly winter hats, gloves, and all the accessories you need at Richard's Army Surplus. Joining me every week, of course, this show does not happen without the great Mike Ward, the president of the Outdoor Club. Mike, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone.
Great to have you here. And along with you, as always, is the ambassador himself, the big guy, the number one salesman of the year when it comes to the Outdoor Club apparel and accessories. Of course, Club Ambassador Chip. Good morning, Chip.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Chip.
All right.
And good morning, Bill.
Yes.
And
morning.
Bill Schill, good morning to you, sir.
Bill Schill, he's a great guy.
Indeed, he is. So we're coming to you guys on Saturday morning, which is a little bit different, and at 8 o'clock. So we all got to sleep in a little bit today and relax. But we are here on Saturday, and our show is broken down into three segments. And the three segments are pretty simple. Our first segment generally is an update on the conditions and a report, in essence, of the trails themselves. Second part of our show is generally a little talk about maybe gear, equipment, and stuff like that. And then the third part of the show, we talk about the activities and events that are coming up. And we're going to do all of that today. But Mike, we're going to start with you, because we want you to give us an update and explain maybe why we are here on Saturday. I think a lot of people might know why.
I think a lot of people know. It was snowing, and we got snow everywhere, and it's still up in the park, and we'll be up there for a little while.
No doubt about it. So the weather yesterday was really, well, it actually started on Thursday night and continued overnight Thursday into Friday. And as many people saw on the regional news, if you watch the news in New York City, they got hammered down there, New Jersey, New York City. People were stranded all over the place. Here in the northern part, up in Orange County, there were people who were stuck on Route 84 for hours and hours and hours, as there were truck accidents, and there were cars that literally were abandoned. I saw a picture from the state police of an SUV literally sitting, all four wheels off the ground, sitting on top of a guardrail.
Oh, wow.
So weather was pretty bad, so we couldn't get here to do the show yesterday morning, but we're back here today.
Trucks were everywhere yesterday.
No doubt.
They weren't allowed on 84.
Right, they had to shut down the access to the highway for the tandem tractor trailers and empty tractor trailers because the wind was blowing.
Well, and also there was a wreck on the other side of Greenville Mountain.
Oh yeah, plenty of our favorite listeners were stuck. I know a friend of mine was stuck for like 6 hours on the highway.
Wow.
And that might bring up part two of our, when we talk about equipment and stuff. We might have to talk about a little bit of car equipment for that. But we're here on Saturday morning. It's great to be here. I'm going to join you guys now as I slide over.
Come on in. Come on in.
There you go. As I join you from the controls, we have the control center here. But I'm going to sit and join with you guys now. So, Mike, conditions across the region were pretty miserable Thursday night into Friday.
Yeah, depending on which way you look at it. If you want to get around by vehicle, it's pretty bad. But if you want to get around by foot, skis and snowshoes were the order of the day.
No doubt about it. Snowshoes are becoming a more and more popular activity here in the region. But can you give us a quick update on the trails themselves and how they fared with the snow, which then turned out to be a bit heavy snow towards the end?
It did. And last night I went out to check on the trails because we were doing a hike this morning at 9 a.m. And it turned out that what I called an easy moderate hike was not going to be easy or moderate. The snow has melted down quite a bit. We did get a lot of volume up there. It was probably in the neighborhood of 10 inches, 8 to 10 inches.
And the forecast was anywhere from 1 to 3. Then they said 3 to 5.
Yep.
But that snow came down so fast in the late afternoon of Thursday that, there was nothing to do.
I'd like to see that measuring device. 1 to 3, and we get 8 to 10.
Listen, you know what? That doesn't happen in a casino. Maybe, at least not on your winning side.
It's known as Mother Nature. Things change.
Unpredictability.
And, we talk about the events and activities that are outdoor on the trails, but Mother Nature, she is unpredictable. And, you can be out and planning an event like, we have all the weekly events that are planned Saturdays. Things could change on a dime.
It does.
And the weather obviously plays into that. So for a quick update, how are the conditions of the trails right now as we speak?
Well, as I said, they are covered with snow. A lot of it has melted down, but it was so slushy in areas that it wouldn't have been safe, because I found it to be very slippery where it slushed down, because there was the ground is an insulator, snow on top, the melting down. There were layers of ice under there. So walking with novices or making it an easy hike was nearly impossible to do.
Well, we want people to go out and enjoy the trails and have fun and have experience and come back and say, man, it's beautiful up there. Now, the snowfall on the ground is beautiful to look at. But as you mentioned, some of that hiking could be a bit treacherous.
Yeah, and as I'm reading now, I had canceled the hike. I put it up on our webpage, and the webpage is pretty much where we'll do the cancellations, as well as Philip Johnson is great about posting on Facebook all the last minute changes, even the future events. He's doing that so well and keeping people informed. But I also had put in there that we were canceling it for this morning because of the conditions. But I said the more experienced hikers are encouraged to try snowshoeing on the Port Jervis Watershed trails. And it's true. You should grab some snowshoes, go out there while we've got snow on the ground. And now's a great time to do it. The weather's warmer. You'll be in some slush as it gets warmer during the day. But it is a lot of fun.
And snowshoeing is quite an aerobic activity.
It's an exercise.
I've yet to do it, but I'm anxious about it. I want to try the snowshoes. Yeah.
And you can imagine. I mean, you think about walking 100 yards just on normal trail.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you don't have snowshoes, right now we have planned to get some snowshoes for after December when we can expect snow to stick around. But if you need to rent or buy snowshoes, check out Action Bikes or Sawkill Creek Outfitters. Both of them have a full stock of snowshoes. I know Action Bikes, they have some new lines of snowshoes they're carrying, and also some cross-country skis.
And, of course, those businesses always are supportive of the activities and events of the Outdoor Club.
They are.
So we, of course, we sit here at Richard's Army Surplus, but Action Bikes and Outdoors, and, of course, the name just escaped me, Mike.
Sawkill Creek Outfitters,
which is located. Both are located right there in Milford.
Right.
Go on out and check them out, and tell them, hey, listen, if you guys are supporting the Outdoor Club, we're going to support your business because we enjoy the activities that the Outdoor Club puts on, and if businesses are supporting the Outdoor Club, we're going to support those businesses. But you get yourself a pair of snowshoes.
We support a sports shop in town.
That's right.
It's not there yet, but we support it.
But that activity, the snowshoeing, get out there now because that snow might melt away by Thanksgiving. But then again, you'll get those snowshoes ready for the rest of the winter.
Oh, yes,
hey,
it did.
Tom, and I know Action Bikes and Outdoors offers a discount to club members. So if you're a member and you go in there and you tell them you're a member, you do get a discount, because I went in there and bought a light for my bike, and I expressed that I was a member, and I did get the discount. So
I'm a little surprised.
And that's another thing too. Speaking about that, as members, we have been last year we started creating membership cards, a little plastic card that shows your membership in the club, and we'll be starting to put out the 2019. So if you don't have a card yet, all members of the club should see that after the first of the year. I'm going to hopefully get those out before Christmas.
I've been using that card to try to get books out of that building on Pike Street, and the nice lady behind the counter,
Tom,
she just won't let me.
And she's a big supporter of the club. She knows you, Tom.
Beverly's like, that's the wrong card.
That's the guy who hasn't paid his dues.
Easy now.
Remember that episode of Seinfeld?
When Bookman went after
Yeah.
Well, let's just say that's not me. But no, that's great to have that card. And
it is.
We're very proud.
Especially when we get more businesses supporting us and offering discounts to our members. Have that little membership card with you. Whether you're just an individual or a family, we'll have them issued for everyone. Give us if you need one right now, give us a shout, and we'll make sure you get one.
And better than a card, we'll talk about it in segment 3, is forget the card. Get yourself a T-shirt or a hoodie, walk around with that on, and then you can say, yeah, I'll remember. So the conditions on the trails this weekend, obviously have been impacted by the weather. So, Mike, let's talk a little bit about the activities that were planned for this weekend right now as we speak. It is Saturday morning. Maybe some people are having a cup of coffee at home and saying, you know what, might be getting a little stir crazy, So school was canceled yesterday and school was sent home early on Thursday. So maybe some people are like, man, we need to get out of the house and let's go have some fun. Activities are probably much limited this weekend.
Very limited this weekend. I know that Peter Tomasi and Melissa Decker are still going to hold their Saturday morning run. They were planning a route that you'll be able to run on, and I think it'll be more street oriented than up on the trails, because it is pretty messy up there, and you're prone to slipping.
Yeah, you mentioned that slush and a bit of ice and just a situation.
It's a mixture of everything up there right now.
But that's all right. So this weekend might be a bit of a washout, but that's okay because there are other activities that are coming up. And I know one thing in particular that I'm looking forward to is Thursday is Thanksgiving already. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that, Chip?
Thanksgiving already.
It's Thursday this week coming up, Thanksgiving on. I can't believe it.
Incredible. How time flies.
One thing we do have coming up this weekend, though, which hopefully we're still going to do, is Sunday morning, 9 a.m. We hope to get out there and finish up start finishing up Painted Apron Trail. So we're looking for anybody who wants to come out. This is replacing the We Dig Wednesdays. It's too dark Wednesday evenings now. So we're now having activities on the weekends to help Adam finish his trails. And we're looking for anybody we can get out there on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. We're asking that if you have one, if you have a hard rake or a McLeod, if you know what a McLeod is, it's a trail rake.
That was a TV show, wasn't it?
Wrong one.
Wrong one. I thought that was those white puffy things in the sky.
Yeah, that you're looking at when you're sitting in McDonald's, right? That's McLeod. So that anybody that wants to come out at 9 a.m., we're going to meet right now. We're planning on meeting at parking lot 5, which is off of Bucksbaum Road. But check Facebook, check the website to see what we'll actually be doing. I'm sure we'll decide later today.
Oh, conditions, of course, will.
Because it's like I was kidding with Chip yesterday. He had some free time. I said, well, let's go out and blow some leaves.
Yesterday?
Yeah, and he agreed to it. And then I said, Chip, it's kind of hard to be blowing leaves under 6 inches of snow.
Well, you know what my response was? If there was a way to do it, I'm sure he invented it. So I was game to go do it.
He just made up a name, McLeod, for some type of farming implement. So, if anybody could do it, it's Mike. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So when he said blowing leaves with snow on the trails is something that can be done, I went right away. I said, let's go do it.
And Sunday, too, is a guided bike ride. So that should not hold back. I think that Ben will be out there. The bikers do ride in the snow.
Ben's hardy. He's one step away from maybe crazy, but yes, he's a hardy guy. And that bike ride will be at
That's at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on Sunday, and that's at parking lot 4 and 5, which is the end of Reservoir Avenue, just before the water plant, and then just to the left of the water plant, going up hill to the next parking lot.
So go up Orange Street, hang the left on Reservoir Avenue, literally right here in Port Jervis at the end of the road. The guys will be there around 2 o'clock on Sunday.
2 o'clock. He's been getting great ridership out there. I've seen
a diversified group of riders.
Oh, yes. Yes, everything from newbies to old-timers.
It's all good. And
seasoned veterans.
Seasoned veterans, right.
Yes.
And he's great because he'll match the bike ride with who he has with him.
He does, very much so, and like we do on the hikes. And because the hike today was scheduled to be an easy hike, we opted to cancel it rather than endanger anybody on those trails.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You want to make sure that people are going to have
fun. But bikers, they're nuts. They'll go out in anything.
Yeah, I saw pictures this week. The snow was coming down, and guys were on those fat tire bikes and just having a ball up there.
Yeah, and TC sold me a fat tire bike so I can ride around the trails with a chainsaw on it. But
Chip, remember he just said about bikers being crazy? Fat tire bike, mic on it, chainsaw.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish.
You draw your own conclusion there with about that? You know?
I haven't been able to do it, and now finally I'm back. I've got my arm back, I've got my neck back, and I'm ready to go out there and do it because I had stopped riding because every time I rode, my left arm would just be paralyzed, and it turned out to be more of a problem than I thought it was.
Especially wielding a chainsaw on a bike. That would be pretty bad.
Exactly. Riding with that
Sounds
chainsaw
like a
running.
Halloween movie of some sort.
I was riding with the chainsaw. I would have to find a way to get it to spin the tire. Take the chain and link
There's
it.
actually, if you look online, if you Google online, there are guys that have come up with bikes that are driven with chainsaw motors. It's phenomenal.
Back to the whole idea of crazy mountain bike. There you go.
Correct. You see, where there's a means, there's a way and an invention to do it. So,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
there you have it.
I was ready to get the fat bike out and go try this snow for a change.
And those
My
guys
wife
love
said
that.
no.
The guys that have those fat tire, and just to let some of our listeners know, a fat tire bike, this is a specialized bicycle. It's not just a regular mountain bike, but it is definitely
Yeah,
specialized.
very, very wide, 4 or 5 inch wide tire.
And Mike, we're not going to delve too deep into the principles behind it, but what's the whole function of a fat tire as compared to just a regular mountain bike tire?
More traction, wider. You don't see. It's like a snowshoe. If you take a regular boot and step in the snow, you're going to sink. A snowshoe keeps you elevated on top. Well, pretty much that's what a fat tire bike does. Not as well as a snowshoe, but yes, you have a better grip. You're riding on the snow more than you are hitting ground with it. So it's much easier. If you've ever ridden the snow, when I lived in Manhattan, you would ride on the streets and you hit some slush. And I was always had a mountain bike, and I commuted back and forth. By bike, you'd hit that slush, and even a mountain bike tire would just go in all directions. Or a fat tire bike, you have a lot more control.
We're looking at our Facebook Live right
Oh.
now as we are looking at all the listeners who are or viewers who are watching. We got the mayor himself, Kelly Decker.
Good morning, Kelly
Good
Decker.
morning, Mr. Mayor Kelly Decker. How are you?
He said we got him. He said you caught me a day off. That's right. We're bringing it to you live.
Hey, Chip
Kelly,
and
on
I
Saturday.
were ready to come in. In fact, I'm going to we're talking about technologies and making this a better format, and not a better format, but more inventive. One of the things we could have done yesterday was Skype in.
Oh boy, that's Mike, I got the microphone set up. I mean, and I have the little cup holders, so the Skype. Yeah,
It's the old.
Technology is always moving. We got to move with it.
It's like the chainsaw operating my mountain bike.
That's right.
It's also talking about the technologies where you get on Skype and you can actually video conference and you can have all the screenshots so everybody can see on one vision. The only problem is it's like the commercial. Don't stand up or drop your computer because you might be in your shorts.
That's why we put this right here. So Chip is all good. Chip, you're good from the waist
I'm
up.
standing up. I am fully dressed.
I am standing up.
Wow.
I'm fully dressed.
Then
But
I'm just going to
Tom-
sit right here. Don't worry
But
about
Tom in
that.
his bozo pants.
Yeah.
It's all good. My friend and my neighbor Cheryl, she's listening too. Cheryl, she runs a lot of road races, and we're going to get her on the trail.
Cheryl, come on up to the trails. We need some runners up there.
And she's run some half marathons, and I remember her and her husband and a couple of others. We went out to support Cheryl. She ran a half marathon up in Rock Hill a couple of years ago, and it was like 400 degrees below zero.
Really?
And there
Wow.
she was finishing the half marathon. So she was a great runner. So it's good to see her there. But all the people that are listening, if you have any questions while we talk on our Facebook Live, you can always type them right in there, and we'll be glad to answer them. My friend Mary Pat, she just joined in. Mary Pat, she ran a marathon recently in Paris.
Oh, nice.
Not Texas.
Is
Paris,
that France?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So she's listening in.
Bonjour, Mary Pat.
And of course, that's Chip with some kind of fake French accent.
I thought it was spot on.
Okay, sure.
It was oui.
Oh, it sure was. But just talking about all the events and activities, and we're talking about the conditions of the trails. So the last segment we just talked about was Sunday afternoon. That would be tomorrow at 2 p.m. So if you got a mountain bike, fat tire bike, if you want to take a look at the trails tomorrow, it'll be a great day. Ben and the guys.
Ben Cheek will be leading that at 2 o'clock down at Brewers Reservoir, the end of Reservoir Avenue.
There you go. A lot of people are thinking about Thanksgiving. I know I am always thinking about Thanksgiving, and that's coming up this
And
Thursday.
lunch and dinner and breakfast.
Yeah, I can usually skip breakfast, but the rest of them, I'm all in. I'm all in. But this week is kind of an interesting week. With
gonna be busy.
Thanksgiving being on
Busy
Thursday,
week.
it's
Busy
busy.
week.
So many people are having travel plans. And, what we started here on Fridays is we tried to, this is our 10th show, by the way.
Oh, yes, right. Episode 10. That's correct. Double digits now
There you
on
go.
a Saturday. That's how it was created by design. Because of the weather, we couldn't do it Friday, so here we are Saturday.
There you go.
Isn't it great? Episode 10.
Oh, it's great.
It is. It is. Super.
What do you have in that coffee?
I have no idea. It's coffee, French vanilla blend.
Bailey's?
No. No.
Maybe next Friday.
You don't
after
know
Thanksgiving.
Bailey's? Irish cream?
I know
In
George
coffee?
Bailey. It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, back to Bailey's and this week, but the whole concept of our show is we want to do it on a Friday morning because people are planning their weekend and events and activities that the club's putting on. Hey, put it into your schedule for the weekend. This week coming up is always a tough week for everybody. People are traveling to visit family or friends. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Friday, of course, you should be shopping at your local stores here in Port Jervis and in Matamoros and Milford, especially here in Port Jervis, and especially the stores that sponsor and support the Outdoor Club. But for some people, it's where you kind of get off your rhythm a little bit. You might skip a workout, or you might say, those things and activities I was doing, I'll get to it in a week or two later. But there are some spectacular events, and I mean that in a very serious way. There are some great things that are going on right after Thanksgiving that if you want to get out and enjoy the Outdoor Club and find out a little bit about it, this is the best time, the perfect opportunity. And Mike, you always somehow make it work out right, but something big.
We'll see what happens this week.
Friday, something big's happening.
Friday.
And
So-
I'm not talking after Black Friday. Go out shopping, and
That's it. That's the whole point.
go and do
we scheduled a full moon hike just because of Black Friday.
Now,
Full moon
we
hike.
we might have scheduled the hike. It was Mike who scheduled the full moon. Mike has the power over the stars, and he can move things up in the sky.
He
Oh,
aligned
yeah.
it with the holiday and
did.
everything. Isn't it great?
But let's rewind a little bit. What has become the talk about event week in and week out is, of course, the monthly or every 28 days, the full moon hike.
Yes.
And so the Outdoor Club, led by you, Mike, have put on this full moon hike on the night or previous, but right around the time
Right
of
around
the full
time,
moon.
yep.
And it just so happens that the stars are aligned, that the full moon is when this year?
Full moon is Friday night.
Friday
Black
night.
Friday.
So Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Thursday, you're eating turkey. You're watching
That's it.
football. You're getting lazy. Friday, you go out in the morning and do all your shopping into the afternoon. And then Friday night, Mike, take it away.
Yes, indeed. We're going to, first of all, on Black Friday, make sure that you're going around to all the local shops. The local shops really need the support, and it's a great way. Boy, the more I'm now retired, and I spend a lot of time in the town, and great shops. We have great shops all over the area.
And a diversity of businesses, too. It's not one of the same thing after another. There is a variety of things that you can buy here.
Oh,
right in
variety,
Port Jervis.
wide variety.
No doubt.
Definitely
a
variety.
And
Absolutely.
one of my favorites is I generally go in and have coffee and have meetings, club meetings in Foundry 42. Boy, does he have some great stuff in there right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
lots of great gift ideas, and the coffee is yummy down there. We're going to get some coffee delivered one of these shows.
I'm very fond of the Americano coffee from Foundry 42.
Oh, we remember that story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Great stuff. And great gift items for sale there at Foundry
See, all the
42.
new things you learn in
Yeah,
this town.
you know what?
You didn't know what an Americano was
I
3
didn't.
months ago.
I became educated on what an Americano was about 3 months ago, and
And you're still riding that caffeine high.
I'm certainly
Hey, Stale,
doing it,
we're
you know.
sitting in there having a meeting in Foundry 42. Here comes Chip late afternoon to get his
Late
Americano.
afternoon. I come
Americano.
in the back door, and I see them having a meeting, and I just order my Americano, and on the way I went,
But you're out there shopping on Friday.
Yes.
So stop here at the Army Surplus Store and make your whole circuit. Go through town,
Yes.
hit all the shops downtown. You go home, put all your packages home. Mike, what am I going to do? Put my feet up on the couch?
No,
and I'm
you're going to
take
come
a
out
nap?
with us. We're going to go. We're going to have the full moon hike on
Yes.
Friday night.
Yes.
And we're going to be up in Elks Brox Park, which is always great because if for some reason that it's really a cloudy sky, it's only been I think one time that was really cloudy. You'll be able to see the city lights and all the surrounding area. It's a great view. They're great trails up there to see the moon by. By getting there up at the right time, you'll just have the moon coming over the mountains.
So what time should we meet you, Mike, on Friday?
That is actually starting at 7 p.m. Now that it's getting so dark so early, 7 p.m. is a good time to be there.
And we want to go up to Elks Brox Park, so we're parking in at parking lot 2?
Parking lot 2.
Okay, that's the main parking lot as you go up.
Correct.
The
Skyline
Drive. Park right there. Mike and the crew will be there.
Yes.
Now this hike is going to be a great hike for almost anybody.
Just about anybody. We do walk the trails depending on the weather conditions. Let's say if there is some snow on the trails, then we'll tend to do the easier trails up there or the roadways up there because this time of year the gates tend to be closed, so it's wide open for us to be pedestrians and hikers in the area.
Right.
And it depends on the conditions, but we try to make it so anybody can go up there. If we do take the trails, we're always near a roadway so that every now and then parents with kids will say, oh, the kids can't do anymore, we need to go back, and we'll guide them back to their cars on the roadway.
Let's talk about those parameters a bit. So this hike, the full moon hike, it's one of the more exciting and popular ones because nobody else does this. Nowhere in the region can you be led with a guide through some beautiful trails during the full moon part of the evening. Open to all classes, right? I mean, young and old can come out and hike, and so you can bring the kids if you like. But let's talk a little bit about the gear that you should bring for this Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be.
The weather has changed.
Yeah, I haven't even looked yet to see that far in advance what the weather is. But in the early evening, especially this time of year, October, November has drastic changes. You can be in 40-degree weather during the day and then all of a sudden go down. As soon as that sun goes down, you're hitting freezing. So always have dress in layers. Footwear this time of year is always the most important. Leaves are out, snow is out, ice is out. Your feet will get cold very quickly, so we highly recommend that tennis shoes, running shoes. They're not really conducive to the environment that time of year.
And Mike, you always are packed and ready for all kinds of activities.
Yes.
That might come along the way. You're going to be leading
first
the
aid
hike.
kits, flashlights.
First aid kit you got, the flashlights you got.
Yeah.
I have this right here. This is a little, it's a high-vis little waistband that you can wear.
Yep.
A lot of runners wear these things when they're out running on the streets. Something you can pick up here in our store. You can pick up at, I know you can pick it up.
Yeah,
at
they're
Action
cheap and
Bikes.
very effective.
Yep.
In
And
fact,
it's
you'll see as a leader, I always wear a reflective vest.
And this is something that it's important to wear and just keep with you because it weighs next to nothing. You can throw it right in your backpack. And it's something that, you know what, hey, it doesn't hurt to wear it. And even during the day, especially right now, it's hunting season. Now, just to let everyone know, there's absolutely no hunting allowed.
Correct.
In any of the Watershed Park region of Port Jervis. Nobody's allowed to hunt up there. If you ever see anybody even thinking about going hunting up there, call the police immediately and notify the authorities and let them know. But it's always good to bring something like this and have any type of visibility so people can see you, even during the day if you're out hiking. But for Friday, you don't need to bring this because Mike will be leading the way.
Correct.
And you'll be with Viz.
Yeah, and if you've never been on the hike with us before, we always, on all of our hikes, we have a leader and we have somebody at the rear. If we have a lot more than, say, 20 people or so, we'll have multiples in the middle. And what we're doing is keeping track of everybody. You know, we always get a head count before we start, and we always get a head count when we end. And if we don't have the right head count, one of us screwed up. We're back out there looking. We've never had it happen. We've never, ever had it happen.
And the last full moon hike, we walked in with the same amount of people, came out with the same amount of people, but we also encountered a thing of beauty in the woods.
Oh, yes. We ran across deer, and, we ran across deer, and
Mike, you set it up. You had that beautiful buck sitting right in the woods there. He was just hanging out.
It was just hanging out. Yep.
Awesome sight to see.
It had some rack on it
did.
too.
That was his bed.
That was a big.
He
that was one of the biggest deer I've seen.
He was nestled in, and we were just hiking right by, and he was like, "Okay, I'll let you guys hike right by, no problem.
Yeah.
This is cozy, comfy for me, you know."
Well, he knows because he's in the Watershed region of Port Jervis. He knows there's no hunting there, so he said, "Hey, I'm safe here."
Sure. And speaking of seeing things and being ready for things, bring your camera. And also, along with your camera, one very important thing, hat and gloves. Bring hat and gloves. It gets windy up there. It gets chilly up there. And gloves. If you're going to bring a camera, most cameras, it's hard to function with gloves, so expect to take your gloves on and off. The point being, wear warm gloves, but something that you can remove and put on very easily.
Mike, speaking of cameras, so many people carry their cell phones or smartphones. Great cameras on them
Yeah,
as well.
they will. The cameras will work. One of the things that's really critical, though, is that on the cell phones, there are ways, depending on the type you have, disable the flash function. What it does allow, when flash, the camera is really setting up, expecting that flash, and it's reading that flash. You want to disable that flash function so that it's actually reading the ambient light and creating the aperture it needs to take that picture.
No doubt about it. Now, Mike, you have a thing or two about knowing your way around a camera and a lens a bit.
Just a little bit, he does.
And Chip, you have experience because you were part of the contest, the Art on the Mountain contest.
Absolutely.
So anybody that comes out Friday for the hike, anybody has questions, even with your cell phone, ask these two gentlemen. Say, hey, Mike, you know what? I got my cell phone. I want to take a picture of the moon. And, Mike will be able to help you. Chip, he'll take a selfie of himself and say, there you go.
Absolutely. That's what I'll do. How did you know that?
It's the way it goes. But we want you to come out Friday. And how much does it cost for the full moon hike?
Free. Always free.
Free.
But don't be afraid to bring some money with you. And the reason why I say that is because Chip and I will be there. Chip will be able selling snacks and
snacks.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, not snacks. Chip's going to be there, and I'll be there. And if you're interested, Mike was talking about wearing a nice hat. I think the great thing that you could do on the full moon hike this Friday is perhaps maybe, I don't know, buy one of these
great winter hat.
Orange winter hat.
Look at that. Look, has the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis logo sewn right into it.
That's been one of our most popular
Safety
items.
Orange.
Safety
One
orange.
of our favorite popular items for the winter, right
And
here.
we talk about being visible in the woods. There's a great
And-
thing right there.
And it's priced at $15. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with that.
This is the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah,
now, courtesy of Chip.
I can't wait for him to go into
You know.
the Lucille Ball. Veggie Veggie. What was that?
But seriously though, we'll have some of these hats available if you want to buy them because they're bright and also keep you nice and warm when you're out on the trails. So that's Friday. That's the big hike. That is
Yes.
the full moon hike. We
Full
do
moon
it every
hike.
28 days.
Correct.
And it's free to come out. Come on out. It's parking lot number 2, right there, Elks Brox Park.
That's correct.
The hike will start at about 7 o'clock.
This hike starts at 7, so please be there a little earlier. We like to check you out, make sure that you're dressed appropriately, have the right clothing. If you have kids, make sure that they're comfortable with what they're wearing, and you also bring a little bit of water with you.
There you go. How long's the hike going to be?
It should be about an hour and a half. Well,
So
depending
that's
on the weather.
That's a 20-mile hike.
Oh no, we do a mile and a half to 2 miles maximum.
And it's a low impact hike, so anybody that is moderately walking or exercising shouldn't have a problem with this.
No, this hike is more about vision. It's more about seeing what's around you, seeing the moon, seeing the city. And so we keep it a little shorter, a little mellower so that when you do get to the scenic areas that you can actually spend some time there. And if it's too cold, we move along.
This is also a great.
Just don't promise a half-hour lunch.
This is a great social hike as well because you get to meet some people that you're hiking with.
Oh yes.
And find out. Like the last full moon hike, there was a young lady who had her cousin with her. Her cousin was from Maine. And they talked a little bit about hiking up in Maine. Remember we talked about the moose, how she saw like a million-pound moose in the woods.
That happened to me up in Banff. I was working up in Calgary, working on the Broadway show Wicked was built up there. And so every weekend I was taking time off and going up to Banff. And a friend of mine that worked at the shop, he took me up there and we're walking this trail. And it's this narrow trail on a cliffside. And you can't go anywhere. You're on this trail. It's covered with snow. And this 1,000-pound moose is coming at us on the same trail. You can't go up. You can only drop down or go back. And fortunately, that moose just held its spot while we backed up and got out of there.
Was that moose's name Bullwinkle? Bullwinkle the moose?
But that's what's great about being out in nature. Is
It's
that
great.
You see nature at its.
Yeah, you might run into a chip.
You may run into a chip.
Speaking
That's
of
right.
wild animals.
Right. Right.
But on our last full moon hike, to recap, we did get to see a beautiful buck who was nestled in the woods, nice and safe.
And
we
the
were
deer
all-
are out there
beautiful.
this year. Ooh.
Yeah.
So come on out Friday for the full moon hike. The hike starts at 7, so get there about 6:40, 6:45. That way you can get your gear
And
all
if you're
set up.
Mike, you're there about 5:30.
Mike,
I like to check out the trails before we get out
I
there.
understand, and that's why I'm making that point that we do scout them before we go out there. So
And we-
that's it. you
And
know.
we do have porta johns at the entrance parking lot.
So
there.
it's most important this hike, bring something that might be Viz or buy yourself a nice orange hat on the hike. But also wear some good sturdy boots, some good socks that are going to keep your feet warm, and definitely dress in layers because you don't know. It's going to be chilly because it's obviously nighttime and it's late fall already. So be sure that you're prepared to keep yourself nice and warm. But come on out, and I guarantee you, and this is a guy I'm not climbing Mount Everest, but this is a guy that'll tell you that the full moon hike is probably the best way to get yourself interested in more hiking and activities that the Outdoor Club puts on.
Absolutely.
It's a friendly hike, it's a social hike, and it's low impact, so come on out and we'll have a good time. Chip, I'm working some magic. I think I might be someone you know and I know who might run the rec department. He might be there on Friday.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're gonna see if we can.
That
get
would
some,
be great. That would be awesome.
some
Yeah.
luminaries of Port Jervis.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
great to get some more city officials out with us to see
I-
what they're managing out there. Huh?
And so come on out Friday. Hike starts at 7. We'll be there. Mike will be there at 4:30 in the afternoon. Chip
And
will
if
be
you're
there at-
visiting with family for the holiday weekend, it's a great opportunity to come out. Like, say your family's coming from out west or something, somewhere not here in this area. It's a great chance to take them to the trails. This full moon hike will be awesome. Thanksgiving dinner Thursday, shopping on Friday locally, and then the crescendo, the full moon hike in the Watershed Park Trail System. It's awesome. You got to bring your family members. If they're here visiting you, they should visit the Watershed Trails.
no doubt.
Yeah.
We have fun on the show in the morning. We make fun of ourselves, and we try to make it funny for everyone to listen to. But seriously, though, come on out Friday and get a chance to enjoy the trails. There are so many people in this community, and it's surprising, who either haven't been up to Point Peter in ages, or some of our younger people have never been up there at all. And so the stewardship that Mike, you as the club president, has shown over overseeing these trails and the maintenance of the trails and the cleanliness of the trails, all we have to do is one time. You get up there for one time and you'll get a chance to see it. You'll be hooked, no doubt about it. So come on out Friday for the big hike, the full moon hike. We'll be there about 6:30, 6:45. Hike starts at 7. It's parking lot 2, which is up Skyline Drive. And it'll be a beautiful hike right through Elks Brox Park. You'll get to see the city of Port Jervis. The lights will be illuminated. It'll be a gorgeous night. So
Then
that's
you
Friday
can
night.
come join us on Sunday.
All right, so you have Thanksgiving Thursday. You stuff your face. You shopped on Friday. Full moon hike. You get done with
Saturday,
the full
you
moon hike,
relax, do more shopping.
and you're like, man, that hike was so great on Friday. What am I going to do on Sunday?
Sunday, Chris Kindle Mark. We're going to be downtown, Front Street. We're going to have our tent up, and we'll be distributing maps and pens and whistles
We'll
and
have items for
items
sale,
for sale down there.
club
And
items. Yeah.
Chip will be also available to give out the world famous, the very, very limited Chip autograph.
I will autograph.
Very limited. Every time he comes down there and you offer that he's going to give an autograph, he's in the middle of the street, not tending the tent. He's in the middle of the
I don't know what he's
street.
talking about.
He's a carnival barker. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
he's going to have a sandwich board on. Chip autographs here.
All it'll say is Chip here.
Chip
Chip
here.
here. Chip
Like a
here.
pumpkin, right?
That's it. Like a pumpkin. Yes.
But that's Chris Kindle Mart. That's
Chris
coming
Kindle
up
Mart.
the Sunday
Yeah,
right
Sunday,
after
and I
Thanksgiving.
believe it's
Great
9 to
event.
5. 9
It's
to
a
5.
whole day event right
It's
downtown.
a whole day. It's cold.
It is a cold day. It's a great day.
Yeah,
There'll be
it's great.
plenty of crafts and plenty of local businesses will have their goods on display there. The Outdoor Club. How will we know where the Outdoor Club is there? I mean, what are we looking for?
We have our big bright green and white tent. In fact, I'm going to put lights underneath of it so that because it gets dark earlier. Remember the lights I had for the
Yes.
race? So we're going to uplight it. LEDs,
LED
of course.
lights.
Yeah, it was
will be
great.
Really, really great.
And now we have our second tent. So we're going to have 2 tents side by side.
2 green tents.
Two green tents.
Yeah.
We're taking up one area, but then we're loaning the area to actually another vendor who is really supportive of the club, and that happens to be Cottage in the Pines. They will
Nice.
have their table set up, but I've offered to put up the 2 tents, put up our wall so everybody can stay warm and toasty. And
Let's talk real quick about the Cottage in the Pines because this is a tie-in to the local businesses. We talk about the retail businesses that support the outdoor club, but there are other businesses that offer services for people that may be coming and want to explore and enjoy the trails. Hey, what? Someone needs a place to stay when they're here, right? They don't live around here. They're coming up. Where should they stay?
bed and breakfast on Route 42, known as Cottage in the Pines. Lynn Feasley, the owner, and Diana, the housekeeper there. I guess I don't know what her title. Innkeeper. Yeah, I guess that would. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll call her the boss. How's that sound?
The boss. They
Boss
do a
is
great.
always good.
They do a great job up there, and they've renovated the structures out there to make a super bed and breakfast.
He's so excited, he got tongue-tied. See that?
But no, Mike, you're right. Absolutely beautiful.
And she just got her approval to build the reception hall.
Nice.
She's
Oh,
getting
awesome.
all the ground plan that she wanted. They approved it all. They're starting to dig ground now. I was just out there the other day. Lynn Feasley, the owner, is a diehard supporter of what we do in the Watershed. She lives in the area. She's done a great bed and breakfast out there. The reception hall will be open for weddings and all that. But she also opens up her place for us to have meetings or anything else we want to do out there.
And the facility is gorgeous.
Oh, it's great.
Recycled, reclaimed woods have been used. The building looks as authentic as it was 100 years ago.
Yes, indeed, and even more so. I mean, go in there and check out in every room. Every room is different. Every room is unique, and all the hand-painted tiles that they used in the bathrooms, etc. Oh, beautiful.
Quick story here at the Army Surplus Store. A couple comes in. It was in the late summertime, and they looked around the store. So we're polite enough to say, hey, how you guys doing? And the conversation came up. I said, hey, where are you guys from? They said they were from the city, and they came up for the weekend. They wanted to go hiking, so they were hiking on the trails. And I said, hey, by the way, where are you staying? And they said, we're staying at the bed and breakfast. And I'm like, outstanding. And that was on a Saturday. Guess what? Sunday, they came back to the store. They said, my God, the place was awesome. We had a beautiful night's rest. It was gorgeous. And we just appreciated it. We can't wait to come back again. So it's great to
They're
have.
great people.
Lynn's good
They
people
really
up
are
there.
great
Beautiful
people.
place. And we're glad that at Chris Kindle Mart that the tent will be shared by
Yes, indeed.
by the outdoor
Yeah, they're
club.
very supportive of us, and it was more about based on last year. Last year was our first event. We set up the tent for Chris Kindle Mart. It was windy. It was cold, and because Lynn is such a great friend of ours, that we were talking about it, and they have a tent that they set up. In fact, we generally are side by side in the different events, and they have a nice white tent with no walls. And I thought, Chris Kindle Mart, last year, 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was cold. I think we'll just put the walls up and let them share space.
And
So
next thing you know, you're standing next to a burn barrel just to keep warm.
that's it.
So that's coming up on Sunday.
Sunday,
Club will
9
be
to
there.
5.
Chip, we're going to be selling hooded sweatshirts, long sleeve T-shirts, polo shirts, hats, autographs, all available for sale.
Club gets
All
20%.
donations, we're accepting donations of any amount. Everything goes back into the Watershed Trail Park. It's great. No one makes a dime off this, right, Mike?
That's true.
And
Absolutely.
all the
They
money
sure
is
are.
absolutely going back into the
And
parks.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the hard work that all of our volunteers do, the club members and those who have extended outwards to volunteers as well. We just have to give them credit. Everybody as a team, all the volunteers, because we are a volunteer organization.
Like our guy Phil Johnson.
Yes,
Phil
yes,
Johnson,
indeed.
he's a
Phil
great
just
guy. Phil.
threatened us, by the way. He
Uh-oh.
said, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were doing it Saturday. If I knew," he was trying to invite himself on the show.
Oh, he's welcome
He is
anytime.
welcome. He is welcome.
You know,
And-
it's not a bad thought to do it on Saturday mornings.
We could do it.
You know, he really wants me to go on a bike ride with him, and
He's
I really
great.
want to do it.
Well, he's
So-
great, and he'll make sure that he takes you on a spot that you know you're up to speed with, and he's really smart when it comes about the bikes. And he's a guy that just a few years ago wasn't really into biking. Didn't, he had a bike, but he's really gone full bore into it. So it's great to have him as an asset. Another big shout out to our friend Mike McCarthy. Mike's listening down in Texas. I know he.
Yeehaw, Mike! How are you? Partner?
I don't know, Chip, if that's actually appropriate at this time of the day, but that's all right.
Why not? In Texas, they give a hearty yeehaw. You watch movies, no?
Not everything in life is a movie, my friend, and not everything in a movie is life.
Come on, I'm sure he appreciated it.
Well, we'll see one day.
That's why some studios have a kill switch.
Oh, I'm backing off.
But it's great. It's great to see the interaction of so many of our listeners and our followers on Facebook. And speaking of which, Mike, we've been talking about some events. We're going to continue, but let's tell people quickly the website and how people can learn more.
Our website is ocopj.org, and as I mentioned at the top of the show, how Philip Johnson is always keeping us up to date on Facebook. Philip has the latest, the newest, and the most up-to-date information on Facebook. Outdoor Club of Port Jervis on Facebook.
Type it right in. Go to Facebook, Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. All the events will be up there. And if you want to learn more about it, there you go, right on Facebook. And, of course, the website, ocopj.org.
Correct.
And so that's the way we get the information to you. We need you to sign up. We want you to sign up for the email. And we don't spam this out. We're not sending it to insurance companies or telemarketers. What we want to do is we want to continue to let you know of all the great events and activities that are going on. So sign up on the email, and you can get yourself up to speed. And it's nice to get those
especially for the biggest upcoming event.
And we're ready to talk about that.
Are you
now.
ready?
Well,
I have to get this in.
I have to get this build up the anticipation and
because some people had questions, I thought we'd get it in early so we could answer those.
So today, as we're putting the show together, we had to talk about the conditions of the trails. Check. We did that.
Check.
Had to talk about Thanksgiving.
We certainly did. Check.
Had to talk about the Full Moon Hike, which is one of the more popular hikes, the only hike in the area like it.
And we had to talk about shopping locally on Friday.
No doubt about it. Check. And check.
But the one thing we could not check off, Tom, we agreed to keep him calm today.
You can't keep, it's like, what do they say? Can't put baby in the corner. You can't keep Chip calm.
You can't keep me calm, Tom. That's a rhyme.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Can't keep me calm, Tom. We're on
all right. Okay, let's go on to the big event.
The big event, and it's something that we were talking about maybe a month or so ago, and of course it was discussed, and boom, it exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. We're ready to talk about it, Mike. What is
the big event? Actually, if I may, let me just preclude that with one other event that if you're a member of the club, you should have received an email for. I'm not going to say on air what that event is, but we do have a holiday event coming up for club members. If you haven't received it by email, look for us on Outdoor Club of Port Jervis on Facebook or on ocopj.org. Send us a note. Send us a letter. You will not see it publicized because it really is more for members and their families. But the big event is on December 15th, Saturday, December 15th.
Huge event.
Is going to be a hike with Santa. And that is happening
the
up
man himself is coming to Port Jervis. You believe that?
He knows. He's got the GPS on his phone.
I know he knows where Port
You're
Jervis is.
You're excited about meeting Santa.
I am so excited about meeting Santa. I'll tell you what. He's the man.
Santa is the man, and he's coming. So it's a hike. Now, Mike, this is crazy. A hike with Santa. This is a one-of-a-kind event. Never heard of such a thing. It's going to be awesome.
Well, we haven't done this before. This is a new thing we're doing. We're inviting hikers with their kids. All kids are invited to come along on a relatively easy hike through the park. We will be holding a session we'll be in the campground area where we will have tents set up with beverages. We'll have hot chocolate, hot cider, cold cider. We will have cookies, candies.
Cookies are very important. Santa loves cookies.
That's it. And we're going to have hot dogs, things like that. So it's going to be, and we're also going to have our bonfire up there, or what we call bonfire. It's really a ring of fire up there, so that everybody can stay warm. But this will be from 10 to 1, although we are talking about extending the time, starting it later in the day, maybe from noon to 3, simply because there are other events that people might be interested that morning.
And so it's going to be December 15th.
December 15th.
It's a Saturday, right?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday, December 15th. And the campground is right there up Skyline Drive.
Right. It's right in the middle of the park.
So you drive all the way up there, and it's open for children with parents.
Yes.
And all the information is going to be made available. It's on Facebook right now.
Correct.
On the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. It'll be on the website as well.
Yes.
And so
It
I
is
have a
already
couple
there.
of questions because I've been talking to people throughout the community.
Yes.
And number one, does it cost any money?
No, nothing.
So it's
Nothing.
100% free, so the kids can come
Correct.
up. But kids, we want to have them come with their parents.
Yes.
So we want parents to come with
Yes,
them.
we must. They must be accompanied by a parent or an adult.
Right. And is there any registration? Do they have to sign
I
up?
recommend that they contact the club, and I would prefer that they do it by phone or by email, either one. Info at outdoor. Info at ocopj.org. Or on Facebook, you could send us a private message on Facebook.
And the whole part of that is we want to get an idea of how many kids are going to be there.
Yeah, the whole idea is that to make sure that we know the actual group that's going to be there, because it could be anywhere from 20 to 500.
Yeah. So when we're making hot chocolate, are we stirring it with a spoon or a canoe paddle? We need to know how many people are going to be there so that we can prepare, because everyone will get a chance to get some hot chocolate and enjoy the snacks that are going to be up
It'd
there.
be shaken, not stirred.
There you go. So Saturday, December 15th,
Right.
the first annual Hike with Santa,
Yes.
sponsored by the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis.
Correct.
This is a one-of-a-kind event. You're not going to do this
One of a kind.
anywhere.
One
This
of a
is it,
kind.
right here in Port Jervis.
And we definitely will have, I believe, because he's already accepted the invite, Santa will be there.
Santa
We also
has accepted the invite.
we also understand that Grinch will be there. And we will see what happens in the woods, and come on out to the campground, have a great time. But you're going to need to hike to get to the campground.
So let's talk about some other particulars then, because this is going to be an event that maybe people who have never been up there before are
Yes.
thinking about coming to. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy tons of equipment, but
No.
get yourself, if you have a good pair of boots or a pair of boots in the closet, make sure you bring those with you, right?
Yeah, it's all about introducing you to hiking up there, and we do have some great trails up there that are really simple to use. Kids can go on them, adults can go on them, but it is a way of getting you up into the park, see the trails. We'll hike to the campground area where things will be set up for you. There will be portable johns up there for restroom facilities.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. And
Couple-
also, let me put out there that for club members, if you care to help with that, volunteer for that, please let us know.
Yeah, no doubt. This is going to be an all hands.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger than
Santa
initially
needs
we
additional
thought.
Elves. Santa needs additional elves to help and volunteer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The first email that went out about it within 12 minutes, I think. No, it was less than that. It was about 5 minutes after that we get 14 signups.
Wow.
Well, you know, the holiday parade comes up here and it goes from Port Jervis to Matamoros. Always packed full of kids, and a lot of people have a lot of fun. But the Hike with Santa is going to be a way. If you're in a scout troop, if you're a scout leader and you want to bring the kids out, this is going to be a good way to kind of combine the two, scouting along with, you know, a good thing for kids. So it's going to be Saturday, December 15th.
Saturday, December 15th.
A couple of things we do want to put out there. One of the questions I got, Mike, was about access to strollers, if people have strollers or baby carriages.
We do have options for that. Keep in mind the time of year. If it's snowy, strollers will be a little bit harder. But in discussing where we're going to go with this, we have a couple routes we're going to take. Most people will want to take the trails with us. That's what we're encouraging. If there are handicap strollers, there is the roadway. The park is closed, so we will be able to use the roadway to the campground. And of course, the little kids won't think anything about that not being an actual trail.
Let's rewind real quick. You say the park is closed, meaning that the people can't drive their
the
cars
traffic,
up there.
the cars, that time of year, the park is closed to vehicle traffic, so the gate is closed, but you will be able to come up to the entrance, park at the entrance. The number of people, we probably will have roadway parking.
But this is what's great about the Outdoor Club. Because the club is the steward of the park itself, park may be closed, the road may be closed, but because the club is running this event, it's a club event, the club will be able to take anybody who comes up there and get them hiking and enjoying the trails and have a lot of fun on that Saturday.
It really in many respects it's no different from what we do now. The only difference is that we're gearing it towards the kids, and we will have refreshments and foods for the kids and the adults when they get there, and even some token things they can take along with them.
It's going to be a lot of
And
fun. Santa's going to be there.
Look at my eyes. Look how big they are. Santa, the man himself.
The man himself. And he's going to be hiking.
He will be hiking.
He's not going to be stuck in a sleigh.
Santa is always carrying baggage, isn't he?
This is going to be great. It's going to be the first annual. Nothing like this in the area. So, if you're thinking, oh, well, they do that in Newburgh, or they do that in New Paltz. This is it. If you want to come out and enjoy the trails and have a hike with Santa, there's only one place to do it. And there's only one club that's going to make it happen. That's the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. The event is Saturday, December 15th. What we do need, though, is we need feedback from the listeners. So if you're interested in coming, drop us a line. Mike, you had the email. It's info@ocopj.org.
That's correct.
So drop an email or go on the Facebook page. You can send an instant message right there. The Facebook page, go to facebook.com, and it's Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. Hit the message button and say, listen, I'm interested. I have 2 kids. They're ages 6 and 9. We're going to come. We're excited to be there. Or, Mike, if they want, they can telephone.
You can telephone our phone number at 845-288-3165. Most of the time, I'm not around to answer that phone, but do leave a message. When you leave a message, for those who call that number, that's our main club number, I do get an email with the actual text of your message. So I generally, if I'm in the woods, I will be able to see it right away. And that's a good number always to use, whether you're calling up about hikes or bike rides or runs, or to schedule, to sign up for an event. But also in the event that you see things in the park that need addressing, call that number, leave a message, and we'll get back to you.
Oh, it's going to be a great day. We're going to have so much fun. The first annual, sure, it's going to be something that people are going to talk about for some time. That is the first annual Hike with Santa, Saturday, December 15th, right there at the Elks Brox Park. So we're going to start up.
I'm going to put the two of you on the spot right now. Are you going to be there, Tom?
It's in my book. I'm there.
Hey, Chip, are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
All right. How about everybody signed up on Facebook right now? You going to be there?
There you go. I just see some of our friends. Phil Johnson, I see he's checking in. Of course, he told he was giving you some bike tips online.
He was. I appreciate any tips because I need them.
I know a guy that would love to be there, and it's our buddy Scotty Robertson. He's listening in right now. So
hey, Scotty, how are you, buddy?
Scotty, we look forward to seeing you there, as well as
and
many others.
Philip Johnson, I know, has volunteered to be there.
So it's going to be
the hike.
It's going to be great. So let's just recap some of the events that are coming up as people get ready. First of all, we're going to wish everybody a very happy and very fun Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday this week. So everybody, as you get prepared to make turkey, be very grateful for all the blessings that we have. But we want you to come out and explore and have fun as well. Mike, run down a couple of the events that are starting, and they're starting this weekend, and they trail into next weekend.
Starting this weekend, we have, the run should have already started or is just about to start. Then we have a bike ride tomorrow at 2 p.m. with Ben Cheek. That'll be at Brewers Reservoir, and that starts at 2 p.m. The parking lots P4, P5. And then on Sunday morning, before I forget, we do have trail building maintenance. Check with us later today and make sure, but we will be starting at 9 a.m. and everyone meeting at parking lot 6 on Bucksbaum Road. We'll have to see whether that's accessible tonight and tomorrow. But stay in touch, and we need as many volunteers to help Adam finish off the trail up there.
All right, and there you go. And then it's going to be a great week for Thanksgiving and the Full Moon Hike coming up. Full Moon Hike next Friday. Black Friday. After you've done all your shopping, grab a little snack and bite to eat, and then come out with us at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, we'll be out there until roughly 8:30, 9 o'clock. Oh, boy, that's going to be a great event. Always a lot of fun, and it's the event that so many people talk about all across the region. Come on out and enjoy that on Friday night.
And get yourself a hat. Yeah.
And that's right. Speaking of shopping locally on Black Friday, one of the last things we always want to do is to remind people that if you want to be part of the club, you can be part of the club, and you can check us out at ocopj.org. That's Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, ocopj.org. Check us out on Facebook. But Chip, let's do it.
And come down to Chris Kindle Mart.
That's right, Chris.
Yes.
Chris Kindle
Visit
Market
us
next
at
Sunday.
Chris Kindle Market.
And you can check on membership. You can grab maps. You can see what all of our activities are. And, of course, everything that we're selling to raise funds for the club will be there.
And we're going to have all of those items available for sale. Chip, give us a quick rundown. What do we have? Give us an idea.
Well, we will have hoodies. We will have long sleeve T-shirts. We will have knit woolly caps for the winter, beanie style, and also this style. We will have baseball caps. We will have, you name it, we have it. We're gonna have it.
Chip, you gotta join me in a day of retail, and I'll tell you quickly.
What is it?
All right, here we go. I'm gonna run it down. Are you ready, Chip? Here you go. Join us at any one of our events, and you can buy yourself one of the following. Let's start it. You got a hooded sweatshirt on sale, $25.
$25 for a hoodie.
Long sleeve T-shirts on sale.
Long sleeve T-shirts, $15.
Short sleeve T-shirts,
$10.
You got yourself a baseball hat.
$20.
You got yourself an orange woolly.
Or a beanie woolly for $15.
Whoa. We got the orange woolies.
Okay, orange woolly, $15.
I don't like the orange woolly, but I want a warmer hat. What do I got to get?
You get a beanie.
Beanie, how much?
$15.
I want a baseball hat. You got them?
Yes, we do.
How much?
$20.
How much for? I don't want any of that stuff. I want a polo.
A polo shirt will be $25.
And there you have it.
Nobody's seen those yet.
We saw one last week.
Last
Chip
week,
was wearing his last week.
And you haven't seen our new coffee mugs and our thermal mugs.
See, we're rolling out some stuff
and our
here.
water bottles.
Oh, now that's...
And our whistles.
See?
All right. Well, I'm going to make the deal right now because I always seem to spend money on the show on Friday. So since it's
one
Saturday,
of everything, Tom.
I want to buy 3 of the mugs so that we can put them on display
3.
here.
Ooh.
He doesn't even know
Yeah,
what they
but the
cost
problem
yet,
is,
but-
who's going to wash them?
Yeah.
We'll get it. Don't worry.
Be me.
And then maybe, just maybe, we could have them filled just one time before Christmas with some coffee from Foundry 42.
Hopefully.
Or even their hot chocolate. Boy, they've got some great hot chocolate.
Right. So all of these great products and all the money goes to the club, and the club's job and mission is to continue to grow and foster beautiful hiking trails in the Watershed region of Port Jervis, and we'll talk about it in the next episode, but also even other hiking and biking events and trails and programs in the city of Port Jervis proper itself.
So speaking of next episode, what day do you think we'll do that so people will know to check in?
But we've been running it on Friday mornings at 7 a.m., and we've been getting some good feedback. I think we're going to continue Friday mornings unless...
Even on Black Friday morning? Maybe we should do Saturday morning.
Well, you know what? We
don't have any activities Saturday morning.
I say we do it. Because we can recap the Friday full moon hike.
Sure.
All
'Cause
right.
then people will be more inclined to listen on Saturday rather than reading the ads and listening to television on Friday morning, getting ready for Black Friday.
There you go. So we're going to do this again a week from today. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. We're going to come to you live on Facebook, but we also record this, and it'll be available for you to download on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube. All the links are on the Facebook page at the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, or you can check us out, ocopj.org. Guys, look at this. It's Saturday morning. It's time for us to get out and enjoy the day.
Yes, indeed. And full
absolutely.
moon hike, you're going to record some of it, correct?
We are going to be, we might be live streaming some of the full moon hike with some of the technology that Mike has helped me with. So we're going to be doing that on Friday. So guys, as we get set to close, I want to wish both of you two a very happy and a very great Thanksgiving. All the blessings on earth to you guys and your families, as we're very blessed to be able to have this show and have a lot of fun. I mean, we're silly, but it's great. And I just want to thank you two for getting up in the early mornings on Fridays. And now that we've gotten you to sleep in a little bit later on Saturday, I look forward to...
Did you sleep in?
Did I? No.
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 Saturday, like every other day.
Hey, Ted, I'm up at 3:45.
Tom, did you sleep in today?
No, I was here super early, but that's okay. But it's great to have you guys here, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Same to you, Tom.
Well, happy
and same to all the
Thanksgiving
listeners,
to you
too.
and your family, Tom, and to everyone listening and viewing. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well, and thank you.
All right, so that's going to do it, guys. Episode number 10 in the book. Our first Saturday episode. A lot of fun, guys.
Yeah.
Last but not least, check us all out. It's the ocopj.org. That's the website. Or check us out on Facebook, and that is the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. For Mike Ward, Outdoor Club President, Chip, the Outdoor Club Ambassador, I'm your host, Tom Faggione, saying, guys, have a great day. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. We'll see you on the trails in the Watershed Park region of Port Jervis.